Just private again. Hey, Brian. What's new? Yo, Clay. What's happening? Tyler? Lunch crew. Castledine dropped the damn torch. He acted like he was going to be the damn lunchtime boss, but he dropped it. Yo, Scott. John, baits are looking mighty sweet. You happy? Are your wildest dreams coming true? Is that what you envisioned your baits looking like? That's usually what happens is everybody you can see it in your mind and you got an idea of what you want everything to look like, but sometimes that doesn't always translate. So Castledine might have, yeah, I will say Castledine might have embraced the click lately, but I don't know. Do what you got to do, I guess. Yellow. Do what you got to do. I would think Randy's about getting this. Y'all think Randy's going to get to 200,000 subs? I don't know that there's. Hella thought there was. Last time we talked about this, he thought there was lots of room for Randy to grow very large. I still don't see it. Maybe so. Yeah, Clay, and I really don't know why that is. You know what I mean? I don't know. Because I feel like there's a lot more known anglers out there that probably don't have the steam that he does. Maybe it's just video like he's just playing the numbers game, just get a bunch of videos out. That's what astonishes me about Randy, though, is that it's not like he's doing anything incredible. Tyler, I think you're right. You know what I would like to see? I would like to see Randy do a live stream and interact with his people. I don't know. Can he do that? Jeremy, we are in the sissy era, the whiner era. I would definitely say so. This is definitely the whiner era, which is not a good thing. Tyler, you're probably right. I feel like if you can lock Texas down, you can lock anything down. If Texas likes you, you're good. Just keep doing what you're doing, and the rest will follow. 8-pound smallie today by Kyle Patrick. In practice, or is there an event started on a Tuesday? Oh, You know what, Anthony? So I lost my other one over the weekend. The one I always wear that's got nice puff embroidery on it. Oh no! I just threw my newly cleaned bait on the dirty ass floor. Now it's got like dog hair and shit stuck to it. So I didn't have a hat yesterday or Sunday, so I came to the shop, and this was one of my sample hats. So I said, I wore it black yesterday, nothing on it. Feels pretty good. I said, I'll just go to the store and get some heat vinyl and see what a logo looks like on it. I don't like heat vinyl. I think it looks cheap, but from a distance, it looks nice. And I wanted to know what I did was this morning I took some regular vinyl and just cut out a bunch of different shapes and sizes and style logos. Like I did one that had like cursive Tacklecraft across it. I did a bunch of like random stuff just to see what it looked like. Finally settled on this size and ironed it on and made myself a hat to wear. So here we are. Hope you like that, Morgan. Hope you like that. Hope it works better for you. Which I think those baits are still in my back seat. I think I forgot to take them to UPS yesterday. Possibly. What's up, Sean? Caught a 4.5 on a Hellcat. Dustin, I like the sounds of that. He didn't have any friends on tourney day, though. Do I like the string hat? Yeah, I like the accent color. That's the main reason I like it. Is I don't typically care for. It just breaks up the darkness of the hat. So you can take a. If you took the rope off, it would look like a really cheap, shitty hat. That like it'd be like a giveaway hat. But you put a little accent color on it, put a little rope across the front. Now all of a sudden it looks dressy. So I do like the rope. I have a white one too, but I haven't done anything with it. I know I will destroy white. I don't like the way the hat kind of points in the front of the top. This part, yeah, that should wear down. I don't know. We'll see. It looks really exaggerated now. It is pretty pointy. Rope adds class. It does. It does. But this was a brand hat that I had not tried before. It's called Imperial. And these things are expensive. Oh yeah, rope used to be the damn juice back in the 80s. Everything was rope. But yeah, people still wear a ton of the Richardson style hats. He had friends Thursday. They were all gone Saturday. That was. How much weight did it take? Let's see. Let's see if I can change it. Now, doesn't that look like a shitty cheap hat with a shitty cheap iron-on? Yeah, it's too short. Like a nose strap. Yeah, the hair's good. Doesn't exist. Sean, as you're sitting there doing this, you could convert it to a. Now look, my social class just went up 2 levels. I went from crusty to classy. Honestly, trying to go cold turkey on tourney content. I'm pretty much done watching forward-facing stuff. Tired of even caring. The overlap is what gets me, though. I need to download the content I want. Clay, I would agree. I don't really. And as crazy as it sounds, but this is a good thing for people wanting to make content. I don't know that the content that I want is out there. I don't know that it exists yet. But I'm so niche that whatever it is would need to be, I don't think you would even have to be that high production. I like Chris Johnson stuff, just talking in the garage. But I still like to watch people fish. And I don't know that anybody's like been able to capture that yet. Like some of the really produced stuff is really cool, but I don't like clamor for it. It's like I dedicated the last 18 plus years of my life to tourney fishing fandom that I feel like I'm losing part of myself. Yeah, I feel like there's I don't know. About Bass After Dark. Anthony, I'll tell you what's fallen off. You in the comments, because you didn't even make the bad comments list at the end of the last show. And I was very disappointed because I went back and watched it yesterday and they got to the bad comments and no guys. Said, this guy is really falling off. Why is he not flaming people? But I don't know. Bass After Dark. It's an odd show because I don't see the titles and the guests and want to watch it. But it auto played yesterday, and I started watching it, and it kind of sucked me in. But I wouldn't have normally watched it, and then I watched it. This is mildly entertaining. The Bobby Balsa show starts. When's that coming out? You already got a good name. It's too late. You mean it's too late in the evening? Or it's too late to get you back? You're already gone. You're already a goner. Well, the thing I don't understand, Anthony, about Bass After Dark was that they were very adamant at the beginning to cut things off at an hour, hour and a half. But they needed to stay in that. And now it's like a free for all. And I don't know if that's good or bad. Yeah, they can't expect you to be sharp and blast them with zingers at that time of night. You think so, Clay? You think if he should have stayed in the shadows? I guess out of all this, like you've been around it so long and you've never really had you've just had a written voice and you see all these people doing it and you're like, I can do it. It's geriatric fishing club. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel. I feel like they started with a definite focus and then they just said fuck it. Let's do whatever. Great information, dry deliveries. Yeah. They lose me when they start getting into like biologists and like stuff like that. Like I usually pass on those. Tyler, I could see that because you know what you're getting into and you're getting it wrapped in a bow and it's like a packaged thing and it's very it's a cohesive piece of something. I mean, I do like I feel like the last Bass After Dark that had Terry on there. I feel like Terry was the. I like Terry. I like his presence on the show. Him and Ken are good together. Maybe Ken should have dropped BTC and just kept Terry. Would that be bad? What is Burns cooked up? Funny you should ask, Morgan. Yo, Johnny. Terry Garcia. Um, can't take their historic route now. It's cool for the big bass cast, but not relevant for current Bass After Dark. Yeah, I can see that. It kind of bleeds over. It's not a separate entity. Or you say you don't think it's strong enough to stand on its own 2 feet as like something without the bleed? Oh, you're right, Bobby. Those were good. Clay, I would agree. I've never quite understood that, but whatever. Morgan Mason. So a fellow camper reached out and said, I blistered their ass on an SB1 yesterday in the tiny root. I said, that's nice. Which color? He says, the chartreuse one. And I went through and I looked at all the color SB1s that I had done. And he said it was weird because I only had one. The dude typically buys two. And I looked and I said, I haven't done a chartreuse one. And he said, I said, maybe you won it from a camper stream. He said, I might have. But luckily, I said, you're in luck, bro. We got SB1s from Builder Dude. So I can't guarantee they'll be chartreuse. They'll probably be something else. Yo, Tom, what's happening? But it'll be an SB1. He did the Burns did the SB1 standard and the mid diver for Darius, because Darius likes to get down and dirty in the depths of 6+ feet. SB1 crack? I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to crack these. Could. I could crack the shallow divers, which wouldn't be the worst option. I feel like if I crack these, they're going to be, it's just going to be cracked forever. Do you have a chartreuse one, gray, blue back, but it's not SB1? Yeah, that might have been, if it's a medium diver, I don't know what they are. Scott, I did not find the color in question, just the picture you sent. And I'm thinking I did that one as a giveaway bait. And I'm thinking you won that. The only thing I can think of. Because I went through all the website stuff and I didn't see one. Jeremy, you might be onto something. Let me show you. It is kind of chartreuse. Let's see. Let's see if I have a picture of this plug. I don't know if I'm going to do it on these, but probably won't be able to see it. Let me lock my screen. You can't see it. What if I could turn this off and you'd be able to see it? No, I think that made it worse. But this, the shells are orange fading into chartreuse. You've never won anything? Really? I thought you did win something early on. I don't know how that, I don't know how you got that damn bait. I don't know where that damn bait came from. Good question. I don't either. Not a bad problem to have, though. Ooh, who are we talking about? Kindick says he may be able to get Mike Long on the show. Apparently, still is kind of. Yeah, I heard that he was still in contact and told him he's free to tell his story. I mean, if it were me, I would just come clean and be like, listen, dudes, I screwed up. I was trying to keep up with the notoriety and like my reputation as being a bass slayer, a big bass guru, and I just couldn't keep up. So I had to turn to the dark side. And it was stupid. And I got caught. But I still love fishing. And I want to continue to fish. You don't have to like me, but I still want to go out in public and like fish and like not get rocks thrown at me. So I'm here to apologize. You can hate me, but just let me fish. Most people wouldn't. You're probably right. Just local fishermen. I mean, you got to think if that dude went to the boat ramp in California, he would probably get flamed. Not by the everyday pan fisherman, but he's probably pretty famous in California. I don't know. Hell, that's a huge compliment when the wives start commenting on how beautiful your baits are. That's when you know you got a good one. How much are those things? Same. My Omnia code got me like 30% off. So. He's not hated locally. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what but I don't like. I feel like he could get out of this. I mean, people have done worse. Okay, dude snagged some bass, took pictures of them. Is it slimy? Yes. Is it the worst thing that's ever happened? No. Will people never forgive him? Some will. But you know what? Some don't give a shit. And it would probably make him feel better sleeping at night if he is indeed losing sleep. Just saying, I screwed up. I screwed up. Sean, yes. End of the week, probably. End of the week looking like. Oh, yeah, I forgot about. Did he cheat in tournaments? All I ever think about is his snagging. But if he cheated people out of tourney money, that's pretty rotten. Like I said, I keep up with this stuff for the most part, and I don't even know what all he did. A lot of tourneys. Yeah, he was just trying to keep up, stay relevant. And he turned into a big fat scammer. I don't know. I'm sure he could contact some sort of PR firm and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna throw y'all some. Bones here. Tell me how I should navigate this." Oh, I didn't think about that, Morgan. Matt Ozark. That doesn't sound terrible. Have I ever done a Burns in Ozark? Which one would you do? The deep one or the shallow one? Oh yeah, he's probably got plenty of dirt. Plenty. Yeah, I mean, once you open that can of worms, you said, well, since we're all being truthful here, let's really be truthful. An open conversation with Mike about cheating would be very interesting. Yeah, I mean, like, everybody already knows you did it. So why not be like one of those guys that's like, they do those interviews with people on like YouTube videos where it's like the guy that like broke the casinos or whatever, like the guy that robbed a bank 6 times and the guy that forged money. How'd you forge all this money? And they like go in depth on how they did that. Like they're not, I don't think they're proud of it, but they were good at it. You know what I mean? Well, that sounds a lot easier than what I was going to do, Morgan. Sal Belly, I never read, surprisingly. I couldn't get past Bass Wars. But Sal Belly, like the cover of the book is like ingrained in my face. Darius, drop me a DM. Let me see. Let me check out my astronaut phone and see what it says. Morgan, this is what they were going to look like. But you might have convinced me otherwise. Let's see what the Kang has sent. Oh yeah, we got oh, those are the Killer B2s. Killer Burns 2s. Those are the sauce. I know exactly what those are. Sorry, Morgan. Ozark Shad now. You spoke. I listened. Sal Belly touches on Cuban bass, the SoCal record chase, Bob Crupi, and a guy who tried to grow the record. They need to do Sal Belly 2. I think fishing's too lame now for anybody to want to like grow a record or do anything like that. Big brown bass. I don't know that one. The Cast and Crank show really highlighted those dudes. Those are the guys that were really sharing for our techniques and advice anyone in the country. Do they? Are any of those guys still fishing? Like the Bob Crupi? Is Bob Crupi still alive, or the Dixon guy that caught? I'll tell you what. The most interesting thing to me is all the like dirt of that era. Not just Mike Long, but everybody that was in like the big bass chase. Like it was pretty. There was some pretty grimy stuff going on around there. Sequin guys have went and fished it. Mike Long tell all. I'm sure he's got plenty to tell. But who's gonna? I mean, what would you? How would he make more money? Writing a book and selling a book, or making a video, like a documentary style video? Probably a book. I would think. Bob died. He was a motorcycle cop who has lost everything, meant anything to him, only to come up short in the record. That's an unfortunate story. Netflix. Dude, if Netflix picks up a Bass show, the Dottie guys were card dealers at a casino and were banned from gambling at any casino within 500 miles. Clay, it sounds like you should write articles. We should have story time with Clay. Clay, tell us some juice. Clay, you want to come on a camper stream and just talk about all the juice you've picked up along the years? That'd be fun. The Dottie guys. Hold on, I'm about to sneeze. Who would buy? Start a poll. Excuse me. Let's see if I can do this. Start a poll. Would you buy Mike Long's book? Maybe one day. He's not ready till he gets the first 6 chapters done. Clay, what we can do is I can do like when they interview drug dealers and stuff on like 20 minutes. We'll do one of those voice changers and block out your face. And you'll talk like this. And nobody will know who you are, dude. And we'll just say you're Johnny Haircut. Johnny Haircut from Montana. Got to start the podcast first. Correct. Clay will have his podcast coming out soon. It's called Bass Before Dark. And it will target the Anthony Geises of the world who go to bed early. So it'll start at 6 p.m. Morgan, I do own the domain to Tacklecast. That I bought like 2 years ago. And I keep getting emails. It's like, your domain value is growing. Do you want to sell it? Let's see. %67 say no. That's not looking good. Sorry, Mike. Reaction videos to fishing BS, but sober of went to do. That's what me and Pryor talked about for like painting videos, because that's all I do. If I watch somebody paint a bait, is I just sit there and curse at them and yell explicatives at the screen. And he's like, I do the same thing. It's like, that would probably be pretty funny to watch, but I have the Mike Long signature Dobbin swim bait rod. How is it, Hella? What's the title? How to dress a treble hook. Yes. Has a long handle. One of the most infamous commenters in bass history. Is that how you capitalize? Clay, who rivals you? Do you have like a arch nemesis in the commenters that when you see him, you're like, oh, this guy again? Gotta make some merch. Who's your arch nemesis in the commenting realm? Who is Clay's number one opponent? Had a guy create a fake profile of me. Ooh. There's got to be somebody. There's got to be somebody climbing the ranks. Is there anybody climbing the ranks trying to steal your thunder? Those people come around and they give in and they acknowledge that I am the supreme bass fishing commenter. Spooky Reds. He was the troll that Castledine had to ban, right? Spooky Reds, tight lines. Clay, I'm not so sure those weren't you. They were just your dark side. Were they? There's a guy that comments a lot on the fishing show that's super annoying. Constantly says how much all the pros suck and how good he is. Dale Gribble was after me for a minute. You don't think that you think those are all the same person, or do you think they're different? Because I feel like they go and come. Like one gains a little steam and then they disappear, and then there's another one. Have you ever seen them on the same chat simultaneously commenting? Anthony agrees because it's Anthony. There's the same keyboard warrior. I would think. I wouldn't think there's that many like angry, disgruntled bass fishing enthusiasts that would like get on all the streams and like just blast people. But I mean, to say that there's three, that's not too far out of the realm of possibility. But I feel like those characters might have similar styles in their delivery of trolling. Dale would pop up in chats I was in and come at me. It was likely someone changing to a burner to take shots. Probably. Aaron, is Aaron a troll? Is he full of piss and vinegar? And then Clay gets on and regulates. When I was more active on live chats, I was accused of being a robot. I could see that, Hella. Sometimes you have some robotic responses that could be seen as AI. Yeah, what happened to old Randy Flowers? What happened to old Randy? Clay, speaking of Randy Flowers, what do you know about Fish Strong? I bet you were a big fan. Clay Flowers. Troy Linder. Is that Randy Flowers? He doesn't seem like the type that could craft those type of messages. Fish Strong sounds familiar. So, that page started off as a. You don't remember Fish Strong? Wow. So this was way pre Flowers, and I would say mid 2000s. Facebook was pretty prevalent. And if I would have been on Bass After Dark when they were talking about villains in bass fishing, at the time, in that era, it would have been the guy's name was Hale White. He was behind Fish Strong. And he wrote articles that were like tell alls. And he would get his juice from like guys on tour or wherever he got his info from. But he would just like blast everything and everybody. But he would follow it up with like if you ripped off a bait, he'd do like a damn 2-page article on you and like explain all the differences, and like it nobody was like untouchable to this guy. Like it did not matter. If there was some like sneaky shit going on, he'd put it on blast. Was not scared. So for that time, that dude rubbed like the whole industry wrong, because everybody was like, dude, if this guy like hears anything, like it's gonna be everywhere. People hated that dude. But he wasn't lying, is the difference, is that like you can hate him, but he's not lying. So anyway, he sold Fish Strong to a saltwater company that was called like Salt Strong, and they used his logo, which was awesome. It has striking similarities to mine. His was like my logo, and a 316 logo had a baby. But dude, he was awesome. He was awesome. I wish all of his stuff, like I wish that page still existed and you could go back and like, there's still some articles on the internet. Like if you go to like, if you search him and like Fish Strong, you can still pull up some of his articles. They were pretty juicy. Hello, how do you do that? I saw somebody do that not too long ago on like, they pulled up a website from like 1998 that was selling like old balsa baits. And it was really cool to see, like, because I remember going like if you could go back to like Peepers, like Kevin Short's old site where you had all the like, but there was it might have been Blackjack was the website that sold a bunch of rare, hard to get balsa stuff. But pretty sweet. I've never dug into how that access that part of the web. Thank you for sending that to me. But I guess Flowers is no more. Mark from BTL. I miss Mark. Now, Clay, where did Kumar pick you up from? How did Kumar get on your trail? Google Payback Machine, to the website. You want to go back. How about that? I can't think of any. I was sending Jay a lot of juice on Instagram. You are feeding the machine. Hello, what did Jay reach out to you about? Writing? Did he want you to be? Did he want you to write for him? Clay has since cut ties. And he's making his own blaster. I wonder how much, hell, if you had to guess, how much revenue do you think is, does Bass Blaster turn from a newsletter? I wanted to know about where you stood religiously. Kind of an odd question in a job interview. Wouldn't you say? Interesting. Bucket pays better. Oh, Randy. Oh, Randy. There is a lot of banners. There is a lot of banners. I don't know. I don't know what the banners pay. I'm sure it's pretty decent. Keeps doing it. You see Candy Randy got a new house? Yeah, he did move up. It's funny. It's funny that you say that. I've seen that a couple times now. Hell, Castledine did too. The YouTube checks must be getting bigger. See these guys get a few subs, and then they start buying houses. Steve Rogers is a good channel with very interesting test. Steve Rogers. Starting to get excited. In 2 to 3 weeks, I'm going to fishing staycation for 9 days. That's a lot. That's a lot. Are the ribs going to hold up? You'll need to wear a brace. I like Jay. It's interesting that he's that you say he's that religious. but also that openly of a Sasquatch believer. That doesn't. It's kind of interesting. Sounds tiring and exciting. Jay looks like a gray alien with his hands. Looks like E.T.'s fingers. Anthony, you know who else has got him that used to creep me out when I was a kid? Hank Parker. He has got him, and he's got those long bulbous fingers, and it's like his they're double jointed in the end, but like this joint never moved, and they were always like, it's like, dude, like I think I fist bumped him before fist bumping was a thing. How many subs you need to get monetized? I think it's 500 now. The best thing that ever happened to me in YouTube was when back in the day you used to have 1,000, I think, subs to be able to do live streams. And then I just got on YouTube one day and clicked live, and it went live, which is all I ever wanted to do anyway. I didn't want to make videos. I just want to talk to y'all. So, and it worked. I was like, holy shit. I've only got 10 subscribers and I can do lives. Here we go. Yeah, I think 500 will get you a check in the mail for $1. Oh, maybe. Hella would know. 500 subs allows crowdfunding. I think it's still 1K and 4K watch hours to get AdSense. I know I have 4,000 watch hours. I have a lot of watch hours, actually. Let's see. Let's see if it'll tell me if I even know how to get into that. Probably not. You channel. Analytics. Audience. To get in depth, go to YouTube Studio. Oh, I don't have it downloaded. Oh well, I'll check later. Would smoking on live get you demonetized? I don't know. Probably. I mean, I would. There's got to be like tons of like gamer channels where dudes are just sitting there. Just sitting there like chiefing. I would think there would just be smoking channels where guys are like, bought a pack of Pall Malls. Let's try them out. Tastes like shit. Got a pack of Liggets. Let's try those today. Smoked one. Woke up with a carpenter belt on. Should drop some YouTube shorts to get to a K. Probably. I saw some video that was just stupid, had nothing to do with fishing. But I was like, I could probably steal that first clip, and then like it was one of those things where like something fell and then hit and then it came up and it was like something else. I was like, I could probably steal that and put a fishing lure after it and get shit tons of views. A daily vid of finished paintwork. Then I'd have to paint every day. Fishing won't be an industry by then, Bobby. And you'll say, damn it. Gator, good eye. They are. This is Burns' little baby, the SB1. I'm guessing this is Burns' favorite bait he's ever built. I think that's his number one. I think that's his number one. Um, Bobby, you need to get to work, dude. Get to work, Bobby. I'm surprised Tiki isn't big in mainstream, but then again, I feel like he strives for the. Yeah, I don't fit into uh, a package. Videos are too long, too random, no focus. They're everything that you don't need to make people happy. Mine are actually the opposite. Like if you don't know me or follow me or know anything about me and you were to watch a video, you would probably despise me. Because you would see the title of a video and say, this dipshit I just listened to him talk for 35 minutes and he has talked about cheeseburgers the whole time. Not once about what is a overrated crankbait. I hate this guy. I hate this man. So, you know, we could clean up our act around here, start taking some little clippets out of shows, making stuff, clean up the background a little bit, darken it up in here, maybe get some LEDs in the background, make it look right. Like that old stream, almost an hour about which candy is the best. Yes, that is how you lose followers, Anthony, and you don't get thousands of subs. But I feel like I've always liked yeah, this is a safe space, Clay. If you want to talk about fishing, we'll talk about fishing. If you want to talk about what's the best Halloween candy, we'll talk about that. Whatever. But we're not trying to appeal to anybody. Bobby, I think that's the part I've always enjoyed is it's just more that kind of campfire chat with your bros over the internet. Agree, Johnny. I don't and you know what's weird is my personality is exactly the same outside of here, obviously. Maybe Hella would think otherwise, but I think I graduated college and I went to a wedding, and me and my buddy and his girlfriend were sitting on the porch, and when it was in like Buckhead in Atlanta, bunch of cork sniffers there, really bad, and this was at like the rehearsal dinner or something, and I was like, this place is really, these people are really making me nauseous, and we got to talking about just shit that they eat up. I was like, how do these suck asses? Like, how do they buy into this? Like, they think that guy's like legit. And I was like, watch this. So I completely turned off my personality and went to suck ass brown noser, like the son from like Caddyshack. You know what I mean? So I walk up to this guy and I'm like, just really laying it on thick, all the cheese. And this dude just like laps it up, hand on the shoulder, like, hey, oh, like you thought I knew the dude for like my whole life. And they were watching. And like, I was like, wow, that like, you can really like bullshit people like that. Like it was so awful. And like, but I was watching all these people do it. And I was like, ugh, how do you do that all the time? Brendan has a girlfriend. I don't know what her pedigree is, but I don't know what throne she is the heir to, but I'm sure she's got some pawns. I'm sure she's got some pawns. Johnny Morris's daughter. I actually knew a guy when I was in Austin. My buddy had a Italian ice truck, and the guy that managed and ran his Italian ice truck was from Arkansas, and he was like, "You're into fishing?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You know who Johnny Morris is?" I was like, "From Bass Pro Shops." He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, I've heard of him." He said, "My girlfriend's best friends with his daughter." I was like, "No shit." And he was like, "Yeah, since they were kids. Anytime we go back home, she like goes over to their like mansion and hangs out." Like, that's pretty big, dude. Like knowing that I was like a couple steps away from somebody that like was best friends with Johnny Morris. Not that it did me any good, but I don't know anybody that knows Johnny Morris or his kids. What if Johnny Morris was spooky? Wouldn't surprise me, Clay. Nothing surprises me. They go on hunts with him and John Paul, his son, all the time. Who does? My friends from Alabama are like best friends with Johnny Morris. How did they meet him? Like, how do you meet a Johnny Morris and get to be like close friends? Oh, I got another question for you, Clay. Where's Zona been? Is he like is he on the way out? Is Zona not doing bass anymore? Is there bad blood there? Pitching his jig. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, Brendan's not been as active lately. I know nothing about Zona. He's been MIA for sure. Yeah, I was watching some of that. Like, I just feel like every little bit of footage I've watched, Zona's gone. Well, my buddy's grandpa was the second guy to the North American Super Slam with a bow. Chuck Adams beat him out by like a week, so he's been big in the hunting industry. He's been backing up. Why don't he just leave? I mean, he's not there anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same difference. Why not just say, hey, dudes, I'm over this. Subscribe to my outdoor TV and watch all my shows. I think Zona's one of those guys that actually he's like the Jekyll and Hyde, where he's got like where he has to like when he goes somewhere, it's like, all right, I got to turn on the Z train. What's Bass's future without Zona? I would say it's not great, especially if they leave Ronnie Moore at the helm to fill Zona's shoes. We're screwed. I would agree, Morgan. Like, Zona is the perfect bass commentator because bass fishing is so vanilla and lame. You need somebody quirky and weird, and Zona. He's like, for all the boringness, and he makes it spicy. No, if you lose Tommy, they're real screwed. Tommy and Zona were so good together. They're like the dream team. He's no Reed Ryan, but it's pretty good. No Reed Ryan. Zona is definitely one of one. I don't know who else you could get to fill Zona's shoes. Like, you couldn't find a Zona. Like, you couldn't try and find another Zona because there's not another Zona. But you would also need somebody that wasn't a lame, that wasn't an ass sucker, that wasn't. That's I think that's what made Zona so good, is that Zona played by his own set of rules. Tommy is not a spring chicken. No, he will not be there forever. And I feel like the hands that are gonna, like, what's gonna be left when Tommy and Zona are gone is gonna make a sinking ship sink even faster. You know what I mean? What happened with Marty Stone? Don't know, but I was glad it did. He eventually says he called every elite yesterday and they told him what, when, and where, and why they're doing what they're doing. Impossible. Mercer would be the only one left with somewhat of a personality. You're right, Morgan, and I think for every person that likes Mercer, there's like two more that he doesn't rub right. Love Davey. Love Davey. Davey's good. But Davey's not a. I don't think he's a. Like, Tommy can run the show by himself. Davey can't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. Davey's awesome, but he needs a spice on the other side. Square would be great. He's vanilla. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. He's an analyst, not a color commentator. Correct. That is a good professional explanation. I don't know who over the years that you could, if you could draw back from like the last 20 years of bass fishermen and pull somebody out and put them in the chair. I guess people have pulled on Velvet for a while because he's a good speaker. Um, but Velvet isn't colorful. Like he's a great commentator and he's great at speaking, but he's not spicy. James Watson? Watson wouldn't be terrible. I don't think his see I keep trying to compare him to like Zona. Um I don't know. I don't know how he would do. Brings in the bachelor flair. Yeah, he's got it. I told y'all before. I fished a tournament where he was emceeing, and I'd never been on stage and like been interviewed by somebody so good. And he was like, you could tell, like the whole time he was talking, I was like in awe of what a good speaker he was and how fast he could react with a perfect rebuttal, whatever, like response to anything anybody said. And I didn't realize it until I was on stage with him. And like, it was amazing. Like, after that, his hair was fantastic. But, but even then, like that's a perfect example. Like, if I would have got on stage and been like, I only caught these bass so I could come up here and check out your hair in person. Like he would instantly have like the perfect like counter to that would somehow spin into fishing. I was like, damn, this guy is good. This guy is good. But if you watch him on some of these interviews, he's kind of weird. Like I think he's been on BTL a few times. Kind kind of an odd guy. It seems like. Maybe I'm wrong, but I can't think of anyone with the same flair that isn't currently fishing. Like Skeet can talk, but Skeet isn't, I don't think. Skeet wouldn't keep you guessing like Zona does. Yeah, Dudley's a lot. Dudley is a lot. Who else can talk? That's got a little bit of spice to him. I'm trying to think somebody from like the. I guess everybody that could talk kind of got famous. Was there anybody that was a good speaker that didn't end up in front of a camera? I feel like if you were left in the background, it was because you couldn't talk. Everyone with Spice is still fishing. Yes, there's a reason, I guess, because they could work. They could work that camera. Hmm. Let me tell you who's funny as hell is Jordan and Alton Jr. together. If you put those two in a real like TV show, that would be hugely entertaining. Jordan and Alton Jr. They need a show. Johnny, you think Ike would take that job? Does anybody think Ike would take commentating on the analyst position? Anthony, I heard a few minutes of it, and I turned it off. I didn't listen too closely. I heard Mercer ask Trey a question about like experience, and Trey masterfully dodged the question. But good answer, kid. Castledine would be good. He said I don't know him personally, but he seems pretty square. But he's got a I think a colorful enough personality, obviously, that he would do well. Talking in circles, possibly, yeah. Man, once you start thinking about it, like you realize how hard it is to find like somebody like Zona. Trey had KVD in his ear telling him what to say. Sounded like it. Zona talks in circles. I don't know. I don't see Zona as a circle talker. Even if he does, it's not apparent to me. He's just got it. I think that's what we've learned, Sean, is that there's not many fish swimming in the pool that could fill the shoes. Circle jerker. There's got to be somebody else that we're forgetting that's like pretty funny, that like speaks pretty good. What about YouTube personalities? Could they recruit somebody out of YouTube? Anybody that's what about Eric? Eric would do it. Eric would be great. Zona has a lot of good conversational diversions built into his vocabulary. What I'm trying to say is, when he says something that doesn't make sense. That's why he's so good, dude. He's a pro. Man. Oh, Pat. I don't know what Pat's doing. I don't know what Pat's doing. But he's somehow weaseled his way into doing some BASS interviews. Pat. Yeah, I don't know what he does or who he knows, but apparently he somehow gets people to listen and buy what he's selling. I don't know. It's interesting. Well, dudes, all the baits are on sticks. I guess we're ready to go throw a little paint down, or start at least. Actually, I got to go make stencils. Anthony, that is the right answer, is that there is no right answer. Can't appeal to everyone. No, you got to be charming enough, though, that you don't completely repulse everybody, but you still make them not like you. You know what I mean? You still got that, like, a little bit of charm where it's like, I don't like this guy, but I kind of don't hate him. Like, Shelly Sanders, she'll get the ratings up. The Stray Cast episode with Hella is the reason I stopped watching. Brian, do tell. I did not realize that Hella ever went on Stray Casts. Was it Hella plus 37 other people and they just talked all over each other while the other 36 people just sat there in silence for an hour? That's my biggest beef with shows that have multiple guests, is that you tend to have people there that want to talk a lot, and then you have other sides that aren't going to talk over somebody. They'll wait to speak, and then rather fight for time to speak, they're just going to sit there until somebody shuts up. Well, typically in that instance, nobody's going to shut up, so you have guys that just sit there and do nothing. It's a total waste of their time. Um, no sense of direction. Yeah, that's pretty normal. I just don't like people talking over people, or like, one of my biggest pet peeves with that show is you you take you get like Denny Brower, but also let's throw Tommy Biffle in there. Let's throw Bill Dance in there. Let's throw Jimmy Houston in there. Let's throw Roland Martin in there. And you have like five of like the heaviest hitters in bass fishing. And while one of them's talking, the other four are sitting there with their thumbs up their ass. But they're such high profile, valuable guests, they do not need to share a screen with those four other dickbags. Like, they all deserve their own time and their own opportunity to speak. Like, it's so stupid to have like such good guests all lumped into the same thing. Clay, I don't either. That's why you need a show. I'll have to go find that. I never realized that was a thing. Brian, Hella doesn't typically look amused anyway. So I'm sure he really didn't look amused there. The only person that could care less. Burns, you're really pissed that Amy hadn't been at the shop co-hosting. Uh, oh, Morgan, I would bomb. I feel like I could talk my way through some fishing stuff though. Bill and Roland barely spoke because Jimmy took over. Yeah, like, to me, Sean, that was like that's hugely disrespectful and just a total slap in the face to like legends of the sport, that they're just going to sit there and listen to somebody else talk. I could talk to I think me and Hella could talk about a show, talk about attorney. Amy on camera. I'll tell her, Burns, that she needs to come back and co-host or host. I'll be the co. I need to make a list of top 5 best tournament fishing podcasts, like the Texas barbecue list. I wouldn't think, Clay, that there's that many to even choose from that would be worth noting. I would think your top 5 would be pretty quick. Maybe. uh, no eggplants. Pryor. Oh. Dude, the first time somebody said something and Pryor snickered under his breath and like chuckled, I would lose it. Underground bass. That would be good. Later, Anthony. Good talking to you. Pryor would be canceled. All it would take was for the stars to align and us be on the Mississippi River and we're watching frog footage and a guy's throwing a swamp donkey. And I'll look at him and I'll say, see that, Pryor? We got a good old fashioned donkey show going on right now. And soon as you look at Pryor and he knows that you know and you know that he knows, I don't think he would be able to hold it in. They always have, Clay. They always have. You're exactly right. I've never understood it why they didn't. You know what else they need? They need a live stream that doesn't suck ass. Pre-show, like to get you excited about the tournament. Theirs is awful, and they're not even like really like they need one like the night before, and everybody watches it, and everybody gets on there and gets entertained and gets fired up to watch it the next day, but they don't do that. They need pre and post. They need to do, predictions, have on some different guests. Be fun. But it needs spice. They don't have any spice. Who is the dog going on? I don't know. She's raising hell. Highlight reels do suck, but I would like to. I think there's a lot of room for improvement there. And they're supposed to be like the leaders in bass fishing, right? Like you'd think they'd have it all figured out. What they do before Super 6 at the Classic is amazing. I need that type of hype for regular season. Yeah, why is that? I just want to know, kind of like Lee Corso. I just want to know, like, local conditions, what kind of to expect. A little, maybe interview a local. I don't know. Like, explain the lake. That's the biggest thing. Like, because everybody knows that, like, there's certain parts of the lake that are better than others. Like, if they go to Toledo Bend, to the locals, they all know that, like, this section of the lake is the juice, and, like, you don't win up the lake or down the lake or wherever it may be on whatever lake it is. But I feel like you get some of that, like, local knowledge and be like, hey, typically this time of year, all the grass is growing over here, so you're going to see a lot of boats over there. The lower end probably shouldn't. You're not going to see many. Like, give you actual info that's worth knowing. JP, I need to get JP on this week. He said he wants to vent. See where he's at. I need some Pryor in my life. Bass ratings would be through the roof. No, what would happen is it would tailspin and crash, and Bass would shut down, and then we would get the legacy of being the ones that destroyed Bass. All right, I'm gonna get out of here and go spray some stuff on these baits. Hella should do that for them and sell it to them, and then they'd steal it. You're probably right. I don't know what they do before the Super 6. Is it like a? I don't know what it is. I didn't watch the Super 6. Are you talking about from the old days? Or are you talking about current? Do they still do the Super 6 at the Classic? You're right, Morgan. I would rather it go down in flames like that than in a forward-facing flame. Agreed. They need to do something. They're sinking. They're sucking. The most amusing thing is when I get an email from Bassmaster that says, "Hey, did you make a mistake? You let your membership lapse." I was like, I let my membership lapse 20 years ago. When you said that Dean Rojas knew how to throw a damn drop shot better than me. Yeah, they could spice it up. What is this? Somebody sending me TikTok, and I don't have TikToks. Correct, Gator. Get the inside info from the meeting. Yeah, why not? If that's what I don't understand. Like if other people are going to leak this shit out, Bass might as well own it and leak it themselves. Like if there's a little shit stirred up at the meeting, like, hey guys, we had a meeting, had a little rendezvous that there's plenty they could do, Clay, but they're a bunch of cubes. A bunch of cubes. That's the thing is I think they're too scared to disrupt anything and like try something different, and I don't think you have to get too far out of the realm of different to like make an impact and like be good. That's what I'm saying. Bass could own it versus it coming out in the Bilge podcast. Clay, I think you could definitely improve upon a lot of their shortcomings. Put Slick out of business. I don't even know who's even listening to that, dude. Clay, I'm the same way. I feel like I'm not as good of a mechanical like builder type guy, but I'm an idea guy. I know what I want. I know what I know what it's supposed to look like. I might not know how to get there, but I know what it's supposed to look like and what the picture is supposed to look like. Hire Tackle Camp. Although Clay's not a part, we could. Yeah, you almost need like a think tank, which would be awesome. You know what I mean? If they just had a board of people and they were like, hey, what do we do? And then they had just like a collection of people that creatively thought and brought ideas to the table. But they don't have enough money for that. So, but they could probably hire or fire a lot more of their stupid employees and pay for better ones. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't think we're ever going to see the answer. I just found a cool stream. Maybe I'll be into custom balsa soon. Gator, this is a yes. This is a. I needed a hat to wear today, so I made one. So I lost my other one. It's gone. And I've been wanting one with the little logo. I thought I wanted it smaller, but I tried a smaller one and it didn't work out as good. So I want to size up. I wanted it the size of a quarter, but we went with this size. But anyway, I've prolonged this exit far too many minutes. Good speaking with everyone. I'll see if I can get JP on this week. Y'all be good. Let's figure out an answer to how to right the ship and save bass fishing from sucking so much. Later.